This week, I'm bringing you the British Airways Club Europe business class experience as I fly from Geneva Airport back to London Heathrow's Terminal 5. I spend far too long shopping for Swiss chocolate, sample BA's catering yet again, and take the scenic route over the City of London on our arrival into Heathrow.
Good morning from Geneva Airport in Switzerland. And what am I doing in Geneva, I hear you ask? Well, as you very well know if you've watched the video, and if you haven't watched the video, I'll put a link up here for you. I flew down here yesterday with Ethiopian Airlines on their Fifth Freedom route from Manchester to Geneva in business class, the Cloud9 products, and reviewed that for you there. Obviously got to get back home to London Heathrow, so today flying with British Airways in their business class, a product they call Club Europe. I've done the Euro travel review down to Madrid for you and shown you what you get there, and I think it's only fair and right that I show you what British Airways offer in their intra-European business class. So without further ado, let's get inside the terminal and get this trip started back to London Heathrow.
So I didn't pay cash for this fare, I used British Airways' Book with Avios feature. Now, last time I said I'd used points, quite a few of you reached out and said, can you go into a bit more detail? So detail you shall get. So let's work this out. The price 3 days before departure for this flight was £684 sterling. Yep, astronomical. But BA still had reward seats available on its website. So I paid 8,500 Avios and taxes and fees of around £35. But my husband's famous line, don't forget the cost of the Avios, which is true because most people think the true cost of this flight is just the £35 they've paid, which it isn't. And by using this logic means you can massively undervalue your air miles. Now, you can't actually purchase 8,500 Avios exactly online, but I calculate the price to be in the region of around £168 sterling. So that means I didn't pay £684 for the flight, but actually £203, making a £481 saving just by using Avios. Points masterclass over, let's get back to the video. Now, at the time of filming, British Airways were using Terminal 1 here at Geneva Airport, and thanks to its size, it's a pretty easy place to get around. Once inside, I went straight upstairs to security, though it's a bit confusing as the priority lane, for business class passengers, is hidden off to the left, so I actually missed it. That said, a very friendly security staff member kindly redirected me into the right queue. Clearing security in under 5 minutes, I made my way to the British Airways lounge here in Geneva. Geneva is actually the only other European city, besides London, where BA operates its own business class lounge. It's a fairly quaint lounge in terms of its size, but has lots of different seating options, from salon-style bar stools with power outlets, to a private back room, restaurant-style dining area, and more comfortable informal seating towards the back.
Well, good morning from the British Airways Business Class Lounge in Geneva. Now, I'm having to whisper because I'm not used to this, but the lounge is quiet. And when I say quiet, I mean very quiet. There's 5 people in here. Everyone's working. Everyone's the serious business time. So I don't want to interrupt anybody's flow. But it's a nice lounge as far as decor and the quietness goes. The quietness is a real winner because busy lounges are a pain. So the fact that it's really quiet is good, but the food offering is pretty poor. Even for a business class lounge, it's not great. So I'll show you around so you can have a little look. I've got my ginger ale, and we're going to depart in about an hour 30. So get some work done and then fly back to London Heathrow. Cheers.
The food offering, though, was really poor. There were a few pastries and slices of bread, yogurts, fruit cocktail, cheeses, and 3 types of meats. Some very overcooked sausage and scrambled eggs, cereals and nuts as well as toast, and finally some oranges and apples. Yes, that's it, not a good selection at all. There was a coffee machine with a pretty good selection of drinks though, as well as teas from Twinings, a refrigerator with soft and carbonated drinks, a selection of spirits, wines, champagnes, and juices. The Wi-Fi was about the best perk, and with 179 megabytes per second down speed, it meant at least I could get some work done. Finally, if you're in this lounge, just remember it's a silent lounge with no boarding announcements made for your flight, so do remember to check the screen regularly. Now, there's no denying Geneva's beauty. It really is a lovely city, and the airport is fantastic with friendly staff, gorgeous surroundings, and a real ease to getting around. Wherever you look, there's something nice to see. Now, I'm of the opinion that the Swiss really do make the best chocolate in the world. It's so good, and once you've tried it, you'll never go back. I wanted to buy the crew some chocolate just to be nice. I always appreciated little things from passengers when I flew as crew, and such a small gesture often goes a long way to making someone's day. I settled on these 6 bars, one for each of the flight and cabin crew. Today's flight was departing from gate C53 from the non-Schengen area, so just before arriving into the C gate area, I passed through border control one final time. There was no queue today, but just give it some thought and allow yourself at least 10 minutes to get through to the C gates. Today's flight is on a 24-year-old Airbus A319, which was first delivered to British Airways all the way back in June of 2001. This aircraft has yet to be retrofitted with the new Club Europe and Euro Traveller seats, so for today we'll be enjoying the old Club Europe seat. A bit of boarding not boarding ensued, this time with a barrier, but we were soon on our way to the aircraft. The seats are in a 3-3 layout, the same as economy, but with the middle seat blocked out and fitted with a tray table instead. There's a pocket in the seat back as well as a high life menu, AC and USB-A power supply, and the same amount of legroom in economy. No bonuses for business here, I'm afraid. There's overhead reading lights and personal air vents, a drop-down tray table with an indentation for your drink, a manual window blind, and mood lighting that sits above the window seat. There's also a fabric headrest, which always makes me nostalgic. My husband and I got engaged on board a BA flight to New York back in 2023, and BA had these very special headrests made for us, which the crew all signed. This is always such an awesome memory.
So all on board, ready to go, doors shut, on-time departure, boarding groups followed. Super smooth process here at Geneva, so I can really sing their praises. Nice little flight time back to Heathrow, quick flight, so I'll just have enough time to show you what you get in business class in the Club Europe product with British Airways. So yeah, just about to start pushing back. I'll show you the takeoff as always, and we can kick into this trip before back to T5.
returning from the British Airways Club and those of you joining from our One World Alliance partners. May I remind you to keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. It must remain securely fastened whenever the seatbelt sign is on. When opening overhead lockers, please take care as items may have moved and could fall out and cause injury. As a reminder, smoking, including e-cigarettes, vaping and the use of other smoking devices is not permitted at any time whilst on board. This does include the toilets, which are fitted with smoke detectors. We are pleased to have launched our free onboard Wi-Fi messaging service for all members of the British Airways Club to enjoy on board today's flight. In a few minutes you'll be able to connect to BA Wi-Fi or join the club by simply visiting shop.ba.com, where you can access free messaging and discover more offers. In-seat power is available within your seat area and will be ready for use once the seatbelt signs are switched off. All phones should be placed to silent to avoid disturbing other customers, and video and phone calls are not permitted at any time during the flight. We are about to start our onboard service. If you have a food allergy or would like information on specific allergens on today's flight, please contact any member of the crew. For those of you seated in Club Europe, we will be offering you a choice of meal and drinks from the bar. In Euro Traveller, we will be serving pre-purchased items from our High Life cap, and to follow we will offer you a snack and a bottle of water with our compliments. This will then be followed by our High Life cap service. If you would like to purchase from a selection of High Life cap items on today's flight, please connect to BA Wi-Fi and visit shop.ba.com to discover the items available or refer to the menu card in your seat pocket. We invite you now to make yourself at home and enjoy our hospitality. If there is anything we can do to make your journey more comfortable, please do let us know. Thank you.
15 minutes into the flight, the cabin crew began from row 1 of Club Europe with their light dining service. I started with a choice of drink from the bar, opting for a Tanqueray gin and tonic, and then this was followed by my choice of meal. Today I opted for the chicken salad with lemon mayonnaise, and this was absolutely heavenly. I know it doesn't look much, but trust me, it was so tasty. On the side was a warm olive white roll and salted butter, and to finish, a rhubarb and white chocolate panna cotta. This again absolutely hit the spot. So here's where I struggle with British Airways sometimes because they can be so inconsistent, but this flight has been absolutely superb. As short as it is, the crew have really looked after everybody on this flight. So there's only 6 rows today of Club Europe seats in business class. The divider behind me here allows them to sort of move that dependent on the load, so they can create a shorter cabin or a larger cabin. But they've really looked after everybody on here. It's been a beautiful service, and I'm so conflicted because if you look at my experience with British Airways on the 777 coming back from Rio de Janeiro, where you've got a lot of time to get things right, a lot of time to perfect that service and get the food right, compared with the flight today of an hour 20 where there isn't much time and the crew are against the clock. I just can't understand how this can be absolutely superb compared to that experience we had coming back from Brazil. But all that aside, it's the crew on the day that matters, and it's the experience on the day that matters, and I'm not going to take away from that today because it's been absolutely perfect. And if I could replicate this experience for you in the future, if you were to fly Club Europe, then I would highly recommend that you do it. A nice light meal, a little bit of a gin and tonic on the way down to wherever you're heading, makes the flight go quicker, and it allows you to kick back and start your trip in style, be it a holiday or a business trip. So as I record this, we've started our descent. We're going to head down into London Heathrow in about 20 minutes time. Everything's run to schedule. It's been a smooth flight. So I hope you've enjoyed your little tour around BA's Club Europe business class service.
very warm welcome to London Heathrow's Terminal 5, the home of British Airways. The local time here is 12:10 in the afternoon. Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the fasten seatbelt signs have been switched off. When it's safe to do so, please take care when opening overhead lockers, as items may have moved and could fall out, causing injury. You may now make and receive calls as well as use all data services on your handheld electronic devices. Before you leave us today, please check that you have all your personal belongings, including anything you may have placed in your seat area during the flight.
This flight delivered everything you'd hope for from British Airways Club Europe. On-time performance, great service, excellent food, and all the expected benefits for a frequent flyer. The crew were warm, the experience smooth, and it felt genuinely premium. While BA doesn't always get it right, today they absolutely did, and it reminded me just how good they can be when everything comes together. From London Heathrow's Terminal 5, I've been James Warren Oliver, and I'll see you in the next one.